everybody, and thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Talk the Talk with me, Dish. I'd like to welcome everybody and thank. Today we're joined by Kulani Makaringe, the dealer principal at Barlow World, Isuzu, Johannesburg South. Kulani has a powerful personality and possesses great potential for success. Conditioned by a strong commitment to his ideals and vision, Kulani is an inspiration to others. He is a humble man and believes in giving back, and furthermore, he is an avid supporter of women empowerment initiatives, and that is why we have him in studio today. In fact, I know Kulani for some time, and he has been a real pillar of strength in terms of male influence or male advice, coming from a dealer principal or sales manager, which I met him as the last time, a sales manager. He was in a sales manager position. So let's welcome Kulani Makaringe, proudly brought to you by Sariti Solutions. Hi Kulani.
Hi Dash, how are you?
I'm very well, and how are you?
I'm good.
It's so awesome to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Gosh, you're welcome. Kulani, I don't even know where to start with you. Reason being, I'm so excited because we have had plenty of interaction in the past. However, I did not know until today that we actually hail from the same place, okay, and we schooled in the same area. So I'm so excited. Such a small world. So I think I'm going to ask you a question and kind of restructure this question, which I usually ask, and how did your journey in motoring begin? But I'm going to ask you to take us through your childhood first, your schooling, and then maybe what got you interested in the motoring industry.
No, fantastic. So I hail from Limpopo originally.
Okay.
So that's where I went my earlier years of primary.
Okay.
Till we came to Johannesburg. I lived in Soweto. Went to Lenasia, Harmony Primary School.
Yes.
And high school, I went to Topaz. And yeah, so
literally around the corner from my house.
So I was a Les boy through and through.
Okay.
So and from there, I've been growing up. I pretty much ran my mother's little business.
Okay.
That's where my business acumen comes from. I'll say that's where I started. I mean, waking up at 4 a.m, opening up for the bakery to bring in the bread into the spaza shop before school, things like that.
Okay.
So that's where my passion came from for business, I suppose. And fast forward, how I got into the industry. I mean, I actually would have never thought I'd find myself here.
Okay.
You know, and but I'm loving it because I was at home, unemployed, and they were looking for sales cadets.
All right.
So this was back in 2007, post my varsity years. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so I applied for the job. I got the job with a particular group. And I guess I never left, you know. So I've been here 2007, 13, 14 years later.
Wow.
And from a sales cadet, worked myself up to being a salesperson to sales manager to dealer principal.
Wow, that's really commendable, amazing. Kulani, so you were with a different group before. Yes. Now you're at Barlow World.
Yes.
And you're loving it, I know that.
I'm loving it.
Tell us a bit more about the brands you've worked with.
Yeah, so I've worked with the Kia with motors.
Okay.
Began with my career with Kia and joined Hyundai.
Okay.
So I was with Hyundai for the bulk of the years.
All right.
So that's when I became sales manager and dealer principal first at Hyundai. So Hyundai Woodmead was where I was.
Yes.
Just prior
That's where we met initially. Right, okay. Gosh, and then you're with Isuzu now.
Yes.
And how's that been for you?
It's been fantastic. So Masha, whom you know very well.
Very well.
So she had been calling me for quite some time to come join her.
Okay.
And I mean, I think for a whole year she called me and I kept saying no. And eventually I went through and I actually took over her position when she became franchise executive.
Right, exactly. Yes, no, Masha is quite persistent.
She's very persistent.
Yes. So Kulani, we were talking about some projects that we want to join forces with in terms of empowerment in the motor motoring industry. So we focus on women empowerment in motoring, but we also focus on knowledge that we can spread via our platforms to youngsters within or in school level. And we're going to be doing a workshop together. Tell us a bit more about why you'd like to join forces with us with that regard.
You know, why I would like to join forces with you guys, because you know, when you look at things of empowerment, if there's one thing I detest, is window dressing and flower arranging.
Yes.
But if you know, if it's done in a sincere manner, and I believe which we care, you know, because we want to add value and give back to the communities where we come from,
yes,
you know, and expose the motor industry as an alternative for employment for youngsters,
yes,
you know, and especially for people of color,
yes,
because it's never been in our radar or in our scope of reality.
Yes.
I don't think when I was 8 years old I ever said I want to be a dealer principal.
Yes.
You know, it was in the realm of possibility. So we want to bring that into the realm of possibilities for young people to, you know, and for Balawo to be an employer of choice. That's pretty much what I'm.
That's amazing. And you know, with you being in a leadership position, I think that would. I mean, I asked you earlier on before the interview. There must have been something that someone in leadership have said that resonated with you. So, you know, this might just be the platform to influence our youngsters to choose motoring as an option. So yeah, tell us, Kulani, what drives you? You're so ambitious, and you always spread words of motivation. And Facebook, because that's where I follow you most of the time, and when we have time. But yeah, what drives you?
Sure. I grew up in. My father was a pastor.
Okay.
You know, so I'm a pastor's kid, and I think I'm very much driven by my faith in God that drives me, the love of my family, my wife, my kids, and my siblings. I think that's what gets me rooted. At the same time, a deep yearning to make a difference. Right. You know, someone once said to me, "For you to be where you are today, someone opened the door for you."
Yes.
And what drives me is a deep yearning and a wanting to open doors for others, because we have to be pillars for other people and be able to usher other people in that would never have ever been able to get into those through those doors, for lack of a better word, through those doors without some sort of assistance. So I feel that that's what drives me the most.
Oh. And what advice would you give to young girls that dream or plan on entering a male-dominated industry?
One thing I can say for sure is that the world is ready. The industry is ready. Yes. And we are ready for youngsters, new blood, and fresh ideas. Yes. Because it's an ever-changing industry, and we need fresh ideas. We need fresh people to come in and take this thing to the next level. Yes. So I'd say the world is ready and the industry is ready for more females, for more women, ready for change. Yes. And you know, and we're gonna be the change. We're gonna be the change that we want to see. Yes. So I think we're ready. Absolutely.
You talked about Marsha Mayaba earlier on. You talked about idols and mentors in the motoring industry. But who have mentored you in the motoring industry? Because Kulani, I believe that you will be the mentor of somebody. You just have it in you. Your dad is a pastor. You have to have it in you. So who has been that for you?
Sure. You know, I've had a lot of people that have played a role and in me becoming who I am today. And I'm speaking about people like a man called Costa Agostinos. Right. He played a strong role. Mark van Rensburg. I'd say Marsha Mayaba as well. Yeah. She's done some great things for me. I feel that she's inspired me and to dream bigger, to be able to see that you know what, there's bigger things. There's more we can achieve.
Wow. With regard to women empowerment and our initiative, so when I met you, it was before I actually started out on my own, but I sat with you, I remember in your office, and I told you, look, Kulani, the reason I'm doing what I'm doing is because of my experiences, or whatever has happened to me, and then I've taken out of that, and you were on board from the moment I came to you. You literally had your entire team. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
in the office, like, come hear the story. Listen to this. So, you're really passionate about what I do, and why so? Why do you believe that women empowerment initiatives in motoring South Africa is it's a need that should grow, basically, or an initiative like this should grow?
Sure. If you have a look at it, about 85% of buying decisions right now are influenced by women. Okay, 85%.
Yes.
So which means that already women are playing a pivotal role
Yes.
in what vehicle gets bought in the family and so
Yes.
forth. Why not bring them on board?
Yes.
Because if the influence is there from the one end, imagine what it can do for the industry on the other.
Absolutely.
Because they understand the decision makers in the purchase decisions, it'll be easier for them to sell to customers. You know what I mean? So I feel that we really have to open the door, and genuinely so, and with genuine empowerment and genuine authority given. Say, right, we can do this. Ladies, you can do this.
Yes.
Go forth, So I think I believe that it's a strong thing, and it needs to be done.
You attended the Motoring Woman of the Year Awards, hey?
Yes, I did.
And how did you feel about that?
Man, that was. I mean, my wife and I still talk about it because we were there together, and it was. I feel it was so amazing to see. Without that platform,
Yes.
some of the women that we saw up there would have never have met, would have never have known.
That's true.
So I think it's a fantastic initiative because now you get to acknowledge women in the industry who are doing so well, and that shows that little girl out there that, wait a minute, if Dash and Sophia and Marcia can do it,
I can do it.
So can I.
Yes, absolutely. And that's why we do what we do. I do what I do. And that was even before I launched. That was in the first year of the Motoring Woman of the Year Awards. It was so small. Kulani, it has grown. You know that. So
100%.
Thank you. You've been there from the beginning. Thank you so much for your support. Kulani, through all of this that's happening, we talked about COVID and all of that. How has it been for you, and how do you stay motivated?
Sure. I'll tell you, I think these COVID times have been possibly the hardest in my career. In fact, I lost 2 colleagues to COVID.
Yeah.
And that was in the first wave. So to keep the team motivated, to keep the people motivated and still wanting to come to work when we've lost 2 colleagues, it was tough. So like I said, I think my faith in God has kept me grounded and kept me going.
Yes.
And it's not just about me, but I feel that I'm responsible. I've got 100 employees in that business. So
at City,
yes.
Wow.
So remember, we've got 2 dealerships in one premises, as well as a parts distribution center. So in total, we've got about 100 employees in one facility. And so I feel that I am responsible for 100 families.
Yes. That's 100 times 5, basically.
100%.
On average.
On average.
Yes.
So we have to make it work. We have to keep going for those people.
Gosh. Kulani, I did not even realize that Isuzu Palo World City Deep has that much. I know it's a huge premises, beautiful dealership. But yes, that's awesome. And we can use that big, beautiful dealership to accommodate all these kids that we're going to be empowering.
100%.
So that's amazing.
100%.
So tell me, Kulani, what is one of your favorite quotes of all time?
Sure. Again, I'm going to make reference to what I know best, and I think it's what has kept me grounded. And it's a passage from Romans 8:28.
Okay.
It says, "For all things work together for good for those who love God."
Okay.
Right? So, and all things include even those things that stretch us, those things that make us uncomfortable, those things that are painful. They are working out together for good because they make us better. Wow. They make us grow because nothing grows in the comfort zone.
Wow, that's powerful. That's powerful. I love sitting here and listening to the answers of that question, simply because it makes me a better version of myself. So thank you for that. And Kulani, what legacy would you like to leave behind?
Sure. You know, and I'll make reference again to Marsha, and she always says, "Leave it better than
I
you
found it."
Right?
I know. Yes.
And that has pretty much become what I now
Yes.
live by. That
Yes.
whether it be an organization, whether it be a dealership, whether it be people,
Yes.
leave them better
Then I
than you
found
found.
I
And that's
love it. I often say that after Marsha has said that actually. So yes, definitely I agree with you. Let's leave it better than we found it. And is there a lesson that you'd like to impart here today? A lesson that possibly people watching this interview, be it men or women, can take.
Yeah. I'd definitely say that we need to be servants of others. We need to hold the door,
Yes.
open the door
Yes.
for many other people
Yes.
to come in, whether it be in business, whether it be in whatever that can grow people. And because it's all about people.
Yes.
If whatever we're doing benefits people, fantastic. But if it doesn't, then it's in vain.
Okay, I like that. So Kulani, you were one of the first black young, at 28 years old, you became a dealer principal. Gosh, I didn't even know that. Wow, that's amazing. Gosh, I want to ask you what's left on your bucket list, but you have so many years ahead that you can achieve whatever you want to achieve. So, what would you still like to achieve within your role, or within your profession, but also in your personal life?
Sure. Within my role, I always say to my people, my job is to develop the next dealer principal.
Okay.
And I'd like to see more dealer principals, especially DPs of color coming through.
Yes.
I'd like to see that. I'd want to grow within the ranks within Balo World of Fully one day.
Yes.
But ultimately, the goal is ownership.
Yes.
You know, ultimately the goal is ownership. We want to own dealerships. We want to own businesses.
Yeah.
You know, if we were to transform the supply chain of the motor industry, we have to take ownership of it as well.
Yes.
And for 15 years in the game, I think we've got the experience, we've got the know-how.
Yeah.
Most definitely ownership is in the cards.
Wow. From your lips to God's ears.
Amen.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I just want to thank you so much for joining us, Kulani. With 100 people back home waiting for you, I think I have to take your leave, or you have to take my leave now. And pathways, and we will definitely meet here again when you're that owner of your own dealership.
100%.
Okay?
100%.
Absolutely. And yeah, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, you're welcome. Viewers, thank you for watching, supporting and following us once again. Also, please remember to follow us on our social media platforms, and don't forget, we have thousands of vehicles to choose from countrywide on our vehicle listing page at www.womantalk.co.za. And remember, viewers, we only advertise for bank accredited dealerships. Ladies, it is often said that success occurs when preparation meets opportunity. A major aspect of the success equation has to do with being good to yourself, treating yourself with kindness and encouragement along your life journey, even when being faced with gender inequality and many other challenges within the motoring fraternity. It is important to celebrate all victories, large and small, on the journey towards fulfilling your dreams. It all begins with recognizing that you are a successful individual right now, and your successes can only go up from there. Ladies, remember, the question should never be, who's going to let me? It must always be, who's going to stop me?